Hello there, good evening and a warm welcome. This is Rupavahini News.
I'm Shamindi Samarasekara.
And I'm in Rajaj Surya. We start off with a look at the headlines for in detail. We start off with a look at local news. President Mahinda Rajapaksa said that the Mahasangha is engaged in a historical task of giving leadership for the protection of the country, the nation and the Sasana. He said that the dedication of the Mahasangha for the benefit of the Sambuddha Sasana is a noble service being done for the entire nation. The President made these comments participating in a Pinkam ceremony held at the Ruvanvelli Saya in Anuradhapura. The function was organized in connection with the 150th anniversary of the Sri Lanka Ramanya Mahanikaya. The first Upasampada of the Ramanya Mahanikaya was held at the Udukukkapa Sema Malaka in Mahamodara, Gaul on the 13th of July 1863. From that day onwards, the Sri Lanka Ramanya Mahanikaya has done a yeoman service for the welfare of the Sambuddha Sasana. The first Mahanayaka of the Nikaya was the Most Venerable Amagahavatte Indrashaswara Nayaka Thero. At present, the Mahanayaka of the Nikaya is Agga Mahapandit, the Most Venerable Napane Premasiri Thero. Addressing the Pinkam ceremony, the President emphasized that all those in this country should discard hate and animosity and should live in unison as one nation in one country. The President further elaborated that it is because of the Honorable Mahasangha that the Buddha Sasana prevailed for the last 2,600 years in this country and not for any other reason. If the Mahasangha did not contribute their dedication, there would have been no Sasana or nation by now, and there may have been even no country. He said by the introduction made in the recent past, saying that the small family is golden, the nation was to lose, and it severely affected the Sasana as well. He said that he was glad today to see small children from a Tamil family being ordained. This should have been done in the 70s, the President said. If this concept emerged in the 60s or the 70s, we could have saved much of the destruction we experienced in the recent past.
පසු යුගයකදී ඇතිවෙච්ච මේ මහා දරුණු විනාශයට අපේ රට පොළ බේර ගන්න තිබුණයි කියලායි මා විශ්වාස කරනවා.
150 children were ordained in commemoration of the 150th anniversary of the Ramanya Mahanikaya. The Sannaspatra titled Sasunapabakala Rajarata Ramanya Bhikshu Vansha was also presented to the President. The credential of the Chief Sanganayaka of the North Central Province was presented to the Chief Incumbent of the Purvaram Vihare of Abegiriya in Anuradhapura, Venerable Potane Dhammananda Nayaka Thero. Many members of the Mahasangha, including the Chief Incumbent of the Ruvanvelli Mahasaya, Venerable Pallega Mehemaratana Thero, Minister Tissakara Liadda, Deputy Minister Veerakumara Disanayaka, and the Governor of the North Central Province, Karunaratna Diulgane, Chief Minister Ranjit Samrakon, and a large crowd attended the Pinkam ceremony.
The central bank informed that the balance sheets of several institutions will be amalgamated in order to strengthen banking and financial institutions. Reorganization of financial institutions and the banks to suit the country is expected through this measure. This has been stated in the plans and proposals of the central bank for this year. It is the target of the government to raise the economy of this country to $100,000 million by the year 2020. The governor of the central bank, Ajit Niwad Cabral, said steps have been taken to amalgamate banks with low returns with strong banks. The governor said that when the economy of the country is getting further strengthened and economy reaches $100 billion, the financial sector of the country should also be strengthened simultaneously. The situation prevailing at present is now unsatisfactory. However, in order to face the future challenges and the pressure, it is necessary to make the financial sector further strengthened. There are 33 local and foreign banks operating in the country. The central bank said that the wealth of 12 of these banks is less than 100,000 million rupees. It has been identified that the wealth of another 10 institutions are less than 50,000 million rupees. Mr. Cabral pointed out that in order to achieve the expected targets, all banks and financial institutions should be strengthened.
In the meantime, the provision of midday meals for students will start on the 21st of this month. The program of providing fresh milk will begin on the 22nd. The government is implementing this program to produce a healthy and active generation of children. 4,000 million rupees have been allocated for both projects. 1.1 million students will be provided midday meals, while 200,000 students will be provided with fresh milk. These programs were initiated under the present government in the year 2006. Several benefits were obtained from both projects during the last few years. Student attendance was increased from 70% to 87%. The malnutrition percentage was reduced from 21% to 17%. The preference of students for local food instead of sweet drinks is also increased. The Minister of Educational Services, Duminda Disanayake, said that the government will provide maximum assistance for the future generation. The minister said it was stated by the opposition that the government has stopped the provision of meals and milk to the students. This allegation is totally incorrect. The Educational Services Ministry is also providing shoes as promised last year to students of rural schools. In addition to these, an additional uniform is also being given. The minister said that nothing has been curtailed in the educational sector.
The Janata Vimukti Peramuna has decided to remove Somavansa Amarasinghe from the party leadership and appoint a new leader. The internal sources of the party said that this matter was widely discussed recently. Mr. Somavansa Amarasinghe has functioned as the JVP leader for a long time. Several organizations affiliated to the party has expressed consent to take this decision considering the old age of Mr. Amarasinghe. It is reported that many internal crises emerged during the discussions held for appointing a new leader. Many affiliated organizations have nominated the name of the present General Secretary, Tilvin Silva, for the leadership. The Socialist Student Union and youth sections have nominated the name of former parliamentarian Bimal Ratnayake. However, the members represented in the parliament and majority in the Central Committee have opposed this nomination. The name of former parliamentarian Lal Kanta has also been nominated. This nomination has been opposed by the group of parliamentarians. Under these circumstances, it has been reported that Janata Vimukti Peramuna has decided to appoint Tilvin Silva as the leader of the party. The party convention to be held on the 2nd of next month at the Sugatadasa Indoor Stadium. It is believed that the new Central Committee will be appointed on this day. However, responding to an inquiry made by National Rupavahini, the JVP parliamentarian Anura Kumara Disanayake said that such a decision has not been taken.
In other stories in the political sphere, the Election Secretariat announced that nominations for the Western and Southern Provincial Council elections will be accepted from the 30th of this month until 12 noon on the 6th of February. The specimen applications for submitting nominations could be obtained from the Election Secretariat or from district election officers. Applications will be issued for recognized political parties on the request of the General Secretary of the party and for independent groups upon submission of the deposit. The acceptance of deposits started on the 16th of this month. The Deputy Elections Commissioner M.H. Mohammed said the deposits will be accepted until 12 noon on February 5th. Time for a short break. We'll be back with more home. In connection with the Chinese New Year that will dawn on the 31st of this month, a special celebration was held under the patronage of the President Mahinda Rajapaksa yesterday. The function was held at the BMIC8, which is a symbol of Sri Lanka-China friendship. The Chinese ambassador and several others warmly welcomed the President on his arrival at the venue.
ජයංහාවෝ මහතා ජනාධිපතිතුමා ඇතුළු පිරිස මහත් හර්ෂයෙන් පිළිගත්තේය. චීන සම්ප්‍රදායික චන්ද්‍ර දින දර්ශනයට අනුව
The Secretary to the President, Lalit Veeratunga, presented the message of well wishes by the President for the Chinese New Year, which will dawn according to the Chinese traditions on the first day of the lunar calendar. The Chinese ambassador presented the well wishes of the Chinese people for the 66th independence anniversary of Sri Lanka. Appreciation awards are presented at the function to Chinese contract companies that have contributed for development projects in Sri Lanka and partners of China-Sri Lanka development projects. The function was made colourful by the presentation of several Chinese and Sri Lankan cultural items.
චීන ශ්‍රී ලංකා සංස්කෘතිකාංග රැසකින් උත්සවයේ අලංකාරවත් විය.
The Navy Commander Rear Admiral Jayanath Kolambage vocalized a song in the Chinese language.
නාවික හමුදාපති රියර් ඇඩ්මිරල් ජයනාථ් ගීතයක් ගායනා කළේ.
What shows the sky of my soul?
Prime Minister D.M. Jayaratne and Ministers Maithripala Sirisena and Professor G.L. Pieris also attended the function. The President issued a message of well wishes to the Chinese people through the CCTV channel, which is televised in several countries. The President said that he extends his wishes for a happy and prosperous New Year for the President and the people of China. China and Sri Lanka have a strong friendly relationship. He said that Sri Lanka's relations with China are being consolidated further day by day. The President said that all Sri Lankans add their wishes for a prosperous and happy New Year for the Chinese people.
The chief incumbent of the Ratmalana Mallikaramaya and the Mahanayaka of the Amarapura Sri Dharmarakshita Mahanikaya, Agamaha Pandit, the Most Venerable Dr. Valigama Sirinyana Ratana Thera has passed away. The Thera passed away this morning at the Sri Jayavardhanapura Hospital after being indisposed for a long time. The Venerable Thera was born on 14th October 1913 in Valigama, received his preliminary education from the Siddhartha Vidyalaya in Valigama. He entered the Sasana on 30th November 1925 and obtained Upasampada in 1933. The Venerable Thera made the Mallikaramaya in Ratmalana a fully fledged vihara and remained in the vihara until his death. In 1990, he was felicitated with the Sanganayaka post. The funeral will be held with full state sponsorship in Ratmalana next Wednesday.
Yet on local news, the first holiday resort established at the Cultural Triangle, the Alia Tourist Hotel of Sigiriya, was declared open today under the patronage of Minister Basil Rajapaksa. 1,400 million rupees have been invested for this 4-star hotel. This hotel was planned under the program of constructing 50,000 hotel rooms in order to get 2.5 million tourists by the year 2016. The Alia Hotel has 96 rooms and has been constructed in a land area of 20 acres. The hotel will provide 220 direct employment opportunities and will generate about 500 indirect employment opportunities. The hotel has been constructed in an environmentally friendly manner to attract more foreign tourists. The Sigiri Fortress and the historical monuments of Pidurangala can be viewed from the hotel. The hotel is also an agricultural museum, and last year 43 new tourist hotels were added to the list of hotels in the country. The income earned from tourism amounted to 1,450 million rupees. The sector has generated nearly 280,000 direct and indirect employment opportunities last year. Minister Basil Rajapaksa, speaking at the function, said that after eliminating terrorism from the motherland, the tourism industry has gained the maximum benefit. Minister Basil Rajapaksa further stated that it was a challenge 3 years ago to provide adequate hotel rooms with the steeply increasing tourist visits to the country. However, due to the enthusiasm shown by local businessmen in entering the tourism industry, the shortage of hotel rooms have been reduced considerably, and small, medium and large-scale hotels are now being constructed in all parts of the country. The Chief Minister of the Central Province, Sarateka Naik, and several provincial representatives attended the function.
As per Buddhism, offering alms for Mahasangha is a highly rewarding pinkamer. The Sri Lanka Standards Institute introduced a Vegetarian Standard Act taking into consideration the health situation of Mahasangha. The Rupavahini crew saw these SLSI officials practically implementing these rules. The officials of the Sri Lanka Standard Institute of the Ministry of Technology and Research made this contribution to a pinkamer that is beyond their official duties. The vegetarian meal was prepared at the institution itself. Non-poisonous vegetables were used for the meal. The rice used was the traditional rice. The meal was presented in connection with the Golden Jubilee anniversary of the SLSI. The director of the SLSI, Dr. Lalit Senavira, said the SLSI organized this pinkamer to confirm the importance of the anecdote that practice is noble than advice. The SLSI director said that if a correct meal was given, only the Mahasangha and the Buddha Sasana will get strengthened. He said that a right recipe of meal should be introduced to the country, and thereby it will become possible to strengthen the Buddha Sasana as well.
සහ දැවිලි වර්ග පිළිගැන්වීමේදී යොමු කළ යුත්තේ විශේෂ අවධානයක්. වෙළඳපොළෙන් ඒවා මිලදී ගැනීමෙන් පසු පිරිසිදු කිරීම සහ ඇසුරුම් කිරීම වැදගත්. සාංගික දානය වඩාත් ගෞරවනීය සහ සුපිරිසිදු.
Presentation of fruits and sweets to Mahasangha should also be done with special attention. The SLSI official said that upon purchasing fruits from the market, it should be cleaned and used for presenting in the almsgiving.
In other stories, police headquarters have informed that prior approval is compulsory for the use of loudspeakers in political propaganda. The police media spokesman SSP Ajit Rohan has said that the use of loudspeakers without a license is a punishable act under the police ordinance. Two supporters of the Democratic Party were taken into custody yesterday for engaging in election propaganda using loudspeakers illegally. The owner of the land in which arrangements had been made to hold a propaganda rally had cancelled the license prior to the rally. However, the organizers of the rally ignored the condition and carried out propaganda activities despite the request made by the police to reapply for the license. The vehicle in which loudspeakers were fixed was also taken into police custody. Suspects are enlarged on bail, and the suspects and the material taken into custody are to be presented to the Balapitiya courts on the 21st of this month. Police media spokesman SSP Ajit Rohan has said that there was no undue pressure exerted in relation to this incident. The suspects and the material have been taken into custody since the suspects violated the law.
The Udugama Sri Mahabodhiraja Perahara of Gaul is parading the streets. The Perahara has been organized for the 29th time. The Perahara has been organized under the guidance of the chief incumbent of the Bodhiraja Vihara, Venerable Udugama Sarananda Thera. Let us now move on to the live scenes of the Perahara.
අවස්ථාන භාගයට තමයි ලං වෙමින් තිබෙන්නේ. ඒක තවත් ඒකට සුවිශේෂී වූ නර්තන රසක් ඉදිරියට තියෙනවා අපිට ඈතින් පෙරහැර වෙනන සමහර අවස්ථාවලදී පෙනී යනවා. ඒකම තමයි අති විශාල ජනතාවක් අර අපේ සජිත් ඔබ කලින් ප්‍රකාශ කළා වගේ මේ කැමරාවට හසු වන පිරිස පමණක් නොව අද උඩුගම පුරවරය එකම හිස් ගොඩක් බවට පත් වෙලා තිනවා. මුළු වීදි පුරා ජනතාව පෙළ සැදී සිටිනවා මේ බෝධිරාජ පෙරහැර නැරඹීම සඳහා.
අපි මේ දකින්නේ මොනර නර්තනය සාමාන්‍යයෙන් කතරගම මහදේවාලයේ පෙරහැර තුල තමයි අපි මෙවැනි නර්තන වැඩි වශයෙන් දකින්නේ. මොකද කතරගම දෙවිඳුන්ට පූජෝපහාර පවත්වන මේ නර්තනාංගයන් තුල මේ පාවිච්චි කරන සංගීතය පවා කතරගම දෙවිඳුන්ට කඳ සුරිඳුන්ට පූජෝපහාර විදිහටයි අපි පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ. විශේෂයෙන්ම කතරගම කඳ සුරිඳුන් මෙවැනි සංගීතවලට මෙවැනි නර්තනාංගවලට ප්‍රිය කරන දෙවි කෙනෙක් විදිහටයි පිළිගැනීම තිබෙන්නේ. මේ එම සම්ප්‍රදායම නියෝජනය කරන විශේෂයෙන්ම කතරගම කිව්වහම දකුණු ලක නියෝජනය වන නිසා.
Up next is foreign news.
With that, we wind up Rupavahini News for tonight. More stories tomorrow at the same time.
Good night.
Good night.